Good morning and welcome to our daily study. Today, our study of the Psalms brings us to an unusual psalm, Psalm 53, which is actually a virtual copy of Psalm 14 with very minor changes. The words are identical. If you page back and look at it, you'll see. Let me read it for you. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt and their ways are vile. There is no one who does good. God looks down from heaven on all mankind to see if there are any who understand, any who seek God. Everyone is turned away, all have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Do all these evildoers know nothing? They devour my people as though eating bread. They never call on God. But there they are, overwhelmed with dread, where there was nothing to dread. God scattered the bones of those who attacked you. You put them to shame, for God despised them. Oh, that salvation for Israel would come out of Zion. When God restores his people, let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad. Now, you may be familiar with this passage because Paul quotes it in Romans 3 in talking about the universality of human sin. And in that case, the appropriate response is to look within and see our own sin and recognize our need for Christ. But in its original context, and as we read it here, it's really saying something about those who don't believe in God. It's talking about the spirit of atheism. And what it's saying is it's a fool who says in their heart there is no God. Allow me to read for you some of the words of Charles Spurgeon in his commentary on this psalm. He says, no God being interpreted means no law, no order, no restraint to lust, no limit to passion. Who but a fool would be of this mind? What bedlam would the world become if such lawless principles came to be universal? You know, there are atheists who transcend their atheism and come to value human goodness and contribution to society. But I would say it's in spite of their core belief rather than because of it. Because the idea that there's no God means there is no restraint on evil, no reason for me to restrain my passions and my desires, which, as we all know, are universally broken. But here in the psalm, it's interesting because he says something about their lot, let's say. Do all these evildoers know nothing? They devour my people as though eating bread. They never call on God. But there they are, overwhelmed with dread, where there is nothing to dread. What he's saying is that the person who denies God one day will be of this mind and this spirit, where they're saying there's no God, and maybe they'll see some hints of God, or maybe it will be patently obvious to them at some point, as it will be for everybody, that there's a God. And there's this kind of terror, like, there's no God, right? Because if there is a God, I'm in deep and eternal trouble. So the message of this psalm is that it's foolish not to believe in God, and that godlessness leads to evil, the devouring of God's people, and as an example of this psalm. So let's be thankful that we know God and pray for our world in these very tumultuous times, that people would come to see that it's only through God that we can truly know the way of goodness and pursue the way of righteousness. Have a blessed day, a great day. Good to be with you this morning.